Okay, so if you've ever tried to change something about your life and it didn't stick, you probably blamed yourself, right? Calling yourself weak, lazy, not disciplined enough. Everyone else can do this, why can't I? I said that to myself for years and I was completely wrong to do so. You don't fail because you're not good enough. You fail because nobody ever handed you the operating manual for your brain. Because willpower isn't about being tougher than everyone else. It's about knowing when to push, knowing when to pull back, and knowing how to work with your brain instead of against it. I'm Steve, and I worked as a disaster relief specialist helping people rebuild their lives while depression was slowly tearing mine apart. So I had to spend the better part of 2 decades figuring out how to rewire my brain to put everything back together. Now I share everything that I learned so you don't have to struggle through it the way that I did. I want you to first think about your phone for a second. You charge it overnight, wake up and it's at 100%. By noon, you scrolled Instagram, texted a bunch of people, watched a few videos, and suddenly you're down to 60%. And then by evening, you're hunting for a charger, right? Well, your brain works exactly the same way. Every decision you make, every temptation you resist, every time you force yourself to do something you don't want to do drains the battery. And the lower your battery gets, the harder self-control becomes. Decisions get worse, impulses win, and motivation disappears. Each morning you start with a full tank. Then you resist hitting the snooze 3 times. You force yourself to drink water. You avoid the vending machine at 3 p.m. Every single choice costs something. And your brain doesn't care if the decision is big or small. Choosing what shirt to wear burns the same fuel as deciding whether to go to the gym or not. It all pulls from the same tank. So by the time you get home and think, okay, tonight I'm finally going to work on that thing, your battery is sitting at maybe 15%, and your brain is like,
You serious?
dude, we're in power saving mode. Order takeout, watch movies, that's it. And that's why New Year's resolutions die in February, because people try to overhaul their entire life at once and then wonder why it falls apart by week 3. There's nothing wrong with you, you're fighting against your own biology. So what's the first step to fixing this? Well, stop pretending that you have unlimited willpower, because you don't. Nobody does. Once you accept that, you can start managing it like the limited resource it actually is. That's one of the main reasons why so many people love waking up early. Not because we're all morning people and you're not, it's because that's when your battery is full. Nobody's texting you, nothing's gone sideways yet, the world hasn't had a chance to drain you, and that's your window. Use that time for the hard stuff, the things that will build the life that you want. Then let the day play out however it wants. More structure will come later. For now, just start here. When I heard that people with high self-control don't actually use their willpower more than you do, it sounded completely backwards to me. Turns out they use it less. There's a study that was published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology where researchers tracked over 200 people throughout the day, monitoring their desires and impulses in real time. They expected to find people with high self-control constantly resisting temptation, flexing their willpower like a muscle, which is what I assumed too. But that's not what they found. It turns out that the high self-control group resisted impulses less than everyone else. They built habits that meant they rarely had to fight temptation in the first place, and they automated the habits that mattered the most so they happened without a fight. I thought it worked like everything else in the brain. The more you use it, the better it gets. Well, that wasn't the case at all. So they weren't superhuman, they were just better at setting things up ahead of time. And this makes total sense because if you think about it, if you're white knuckling your way past temptation every single night when you're tired, you're gonna lose eventually. The problem is always there, but your willpower won't. Superman doesn't build a tolerance to kryptonite, he stays the fuck away from it. So stop trying to be stronger, start building systems that don't require strength. Because you're not weak for struggling, you're using the wrong strategy. The guy who hits the gym every morning didn't start out more disciplined than you. He set up a better strategy to succeed. He got his gym clothes ready the night before, put them next to his bed for when he woke up, and then set a non-negotiable alarm. He removed as much friction as possible. That's it. So look at the habit you're trying to build and ask yourself, how do I make this so easy that I'd have to go out of my way not to do it? Because relying on willpower alone is playing life on hard mode. You're gonna lose eventually. Design the system, put it in place, and let it do the heavy lifting for you. So we now know that your battery drains throughout the day and mornings are your best window to get shit done. And willpower isn't about being tougher, it's about planning smarter. But what about the habits already hardwired in, the ones that happen before you even realize you're doing them? That's where the habit loop comes in. Every habit has three parts to it: the cue, the routine, and the reward. First, you get an urge to do something. Then you do the thing, then you get the reward. Your brain loves this loop because it's predictable. It's safe, no surprises, so why would it stop? Let's say you're stress eating. Every time you feel anxious, you grab a snack and you feel better. Cue, routine, reward. Your brain has now logged that as a working solution to an ongoing problem. You can't willpower your way out of that because the cue and reward are still there. All that you're doing is fighting the routine with sheer force of will, which will burn through your battery fast. That's like trying to stop a spinning fan by sticking your fucking hand in it.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Sure, you'll probably stop it, but at what cost? So what's the smarter move? Replace the routine. Swap out what you would do between the cue and the reward. When you feel anxious, for example, do something different. Drop and do 10 push-ups, take a cold shower, go for a walk, call a friend. Something that gets you out of that state but doesn't mess up your progress. Your brain will still get the relief it's looking for, and you get to start building a new habit that serves you better than before. And the best part? Repeat the new routine enough times and it will become automatic. The loop rewires itself and you stop having to think about it. The brain will start craving that routine as a new working solution. That's the ultimate goal: building new loops that serve you instead of fighting old ones that don't. Okay, now here's the most important part of this entire equation, and it is going to piss off a bunch of people. If you're not getting enough sleep, none of this works. Plain and simple. Sleep is how your brain recharges the battery. There's no way around it. Coffee and determination won't save you here. A lot of us have tried for years and it doesn't work because maybe you can pull it off for a season or two, but it's not sustainable if better habits are your goal. For anybody about to name that one person who thrives on 4 hours, they're the exception, not the standard. You can win a hand of poker with a 7-2 offsuit, but nobody in their right mind is going all in with that before the flop. Exceptions do not disprove the rule. Plus, that person probably isn't watching this video. You are. And as great as you are, you're probably not the exception. Neither am I, and that's okay. We work with what we have. When most of us are sleep deprived, your prefrontal cortex goes offline and your dopamine levels stay depleted from the day before. That's the part that handles decision making, impulse control, and long-term thinking. Without it, you're basically in lizard brain mode, the oldest part of your brain that isn't built for modern life. And the lizard brain doesn't care about your goals, it cares about immediate survival. On top of that, low dopamine pushes you towards cheap, fast ways to get those low levels back up. So scrolling Instagram, inhaling junk food, masturbating yourself into a coma. That's why everything feels harder when you're tired, pun intended. You lose your temper more. You order takeout and you stuff your face. You skip the gym because your brain is in power saving mode. I spent years convinced that I could get by on a few hours sleep to get more done in a day. Except I wasn't getting more done. I was making worse decisions and felt like garbage every single day. Now I protect my sleep like it's non-negotiable. 7 to 8 hours every night, and the difference I found is night and day. Sharper brain, better mood, willpower that actually lasts, and you're not spending all day fighting yourself just to function. If you're trying to change your life on a few hours of sleep, you're trying to drive cross country on a quarter tank of gas, man. It's not happening, so fill the tank. Your willpower is a battery. Every decision, every temptation, every time you force yourself to do something hard, it costs energy. Fighting that is fighting human biology. Mornings are where your battery is full, so do everything that matters first, before the day gets away from you. People with high self-control aren't better or tougher than you. They've built systems that don't require constant willpower. They engineer their environment so the fight doesn't happen in the first place. Breaking bad habits isn't about muscling through them, it's about understanding the loop and swapping the routine while still giving your brain the reward it's looking for. And sleep is the reset button. Without it, you're fighting with one hand behind your back, wondering why you keep getting the shit kicked out of you every day. You're not weak, you're not lazy, you are playing a game without knowing the rules. Now you know them. So here's what I want you to do, and I'm going to start sounding like a broken record. Pick one thing, just one. Maybe it's doing your hardest task first in the morning. Maybe it's removing a temptation from your environment tonight. Maybe it's committing to an actual sleep schedule this week. Start with one, stack the small wins, and continue to build from there. Because the goal will never be perfection, the goal is constant progress. Give it a try and see exactly what positive changes start to happen in your life by doing this. And if you find that life still keeps messing with your progress, the video that is about to pop up on the right of your screen will help out with that, so give it a watch next. Until next time, keep pushing forward.